Secret Garden is an Irish-Norwegian band led by Irish violinist and singer Fionnuala Sherry and a Norwegian composer, arranger, and pianist, Rolf Lovland. So, all right, guys. I love getting that little bit of information before we listen to stuff. Let's go. All right. Oh my God, I recognize that pad from the back. Or they call it a motion pad. It's beautiful. Is that the flute instrument blended with vocals? Sounds like it. Very beautiful, very mystic. Love how the bass is just on the one. Sneaky bassoon line, or it could have been a bass clarinet, but beautiful. That was a beautiful track. What a wonderful way to start the stream. I agree with you. I think emotionally that really was why that was a great way to start the stream, is because all the stuff that I was talking about beforehand kind of brought everything back down to like a baseline for us to enjoy the rest of the stream. It was beautiful. It was laid back. It was very whimsical in a mystical kind of way. I think what brought that to me first was the opening of that flute instrument, but it sounded like behind it there was a female vocal that was lightly behind it. It was very unique. It was very beautiful. And the motion pad that opened up at the beginning, I was going, oh God, I kind of recognize that. Obviously this whole thing was based on kind of I'm using the word mystical right now quite a bit because that's the sensation it gave me. And the melody was just beautiful. There wasn't any like trying to be more than the beauty than it was of the track. Even so much so that when I had said I love the fact that the bass is just boom, 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 just on the one. It just wanted just to give you just that kind of vibe of just, you know, it's going to be okay. Even though some of the chord changes kind of brought you down somewhat of like, let's say, a somewhat non-optimistic mode. I'm not going to say pessimistic. And also the dynamics, the way the violinist played, of course, was beautiful as well. I mean, a lot to do with what it is that we were listening to was about the dynamics of the violinist. So what a beautiful piece. I love that. Oh, guess who's next? The kebab seller. He's busy working. He's not here with us. But, you know, he is very stoic about making sure he's got something in there. Hi, kebab seller. How are you? I hope you're doing well. He wants a game called Dark Cloud. Let's see what Dark Cloud is all about here. And this one is the main theme. So I hope you guys who are gamers, you may be familiar with this. This game is from the year 2000 and was the studio's first game. Also was a nice addition. All right. Oh, he's saying also a nice addition in this. Well, hey, Double A, you got a prop in here. It is a nice addition, this message box. So, Double A, the kebab seller says mahalo for that, adding the message box. All right, guys, let's do this. Axel F. I did get a little of that vibe at the beginning. I was like, oh. The occasional castanet pops in there. I like that answer callback right there, or callback answer. Trying to pin the cultural influence to this. Oh, so it did loop. I thought it looped already twice on there easily, but I just didn't know. I'm trying to pin the cultural influence on this. There were some unique, like I said, all of a sudden there was a castanet in there, and I just, yeah, I didn't know how to say that word, so I was afraid to say it and sound. But Aman said it for me, so it's kind of a Gaelic kind of vibe. Would that be like Renaissance period, possibly? I think garlic, double A. I think where I was really listening to it right now was funny because my mind is still marinating on the technology conversation and how everything about that was module-driven composition. No, the composer did it, no two ways about it. but everything was generated from that. So my brain started marinating, and I got lost a little bit in the listen. But I liked, I guess the game Dark Cloud, he says that, Kebab said that the game came out in 2000, but I don't know if this is like a platformer or something. I see it doing some kind of a Celeste kind of vibe based on the music, perhaps. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be me just tying specific sounds and certain kinds of phrasings, especially the way it was written in the loop, kind of the way it twists around, you know. But, ouch. So the same guys who did the Professor Layton music. Oh, okay. All right. It's a part combat, part city. Oh, so it's kind of half and half. Oh, okay. All right, super cool beans. Kebab Seller, thank you so much for popping that in there. I look forward to you coming and seeing it on the VOD. Double A is up next. Tommy Igoe. Tommy Igoe. It's jazz. We're doing some jazz here, guys. So let's see what we got here. New ground. Oh, you lost power. Negative. So what did you do? Get on your phone to send that message? I'm just saying. All right, let's see what Double A is always bringing us the soup, man. So let's sit back and let's see what we got here. Allah. Okay, here we go. Look at that hi-hat hand technique. Ah, perfect. Nice. I love watching his hi-hat hand. Oh, that technique is phenomenal. He just did with the hi-hat with those 30 seconds. There, like that little one right there. Ooh. These little phrases that jam up into the samba. Oh, that right here. Ugh. Look at the hi-hat going with the foot. Be surprised how important that is in a lot of these real super progressive jazzy rhythms. That piano. Wow. The bass. Great cymbal work, man. I will say the Dave Weckl influence is gracefully sprinkled upon his arrangement here. I love how in his solo he utilizes more space than he does bang. Okay, now he's going off. That's the real drummer in action. Absolutely incredible. I didn't say anything through it because I was just as enamored, I think, as everybody else. Let me find a good stop point from there. Yes. Just as enamored as everybody else was by his musicianship, his arrangement skill. I don't know if, I don't know if this is like the one-off, if that was his album, his song that was written on an album for him, or if he was the drummer on this song, Double A. I'm not too sure. You know, maybe you can tell me that. Or if he learned it and played it. There's that new channel that's been blowing up for the last couple of years about drummers learning other drummers' parts and stuff. But nonetheless, either way, it's his big band. Okay, so that's his piece. Okay, so that's why also, too, there's a unique I'm feeling this vibe in his performance. You know, like he really rinsed in the track and stuff. I love the fact that with his incredible skill set, there's no two ways about it. He could have gone, you know, plus 20 fire damage, you know, with all his fills and stuff, but he was so tasteful and so many little elements of it. When it broke down, I think 4 or 5 times it broke down into this just kind of maybe 4 bars or 8 bars of this kind of pseudo samba pattern where he was with the cowbell, but the cowbell wasn't on the 1. I think it was on the an E or something like that. 1 E and he did it. I'm thinking in my head, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. But then also, as I said earlier, when there was that little area where we thought he was going to break into a solo, he let space take the power. And to me, that's fire. You know, when you allow space to take that kind of control of something that's such a jam. You know what I mean? So, but I thought that was just absolutely just a wonderful thing. So far, these tracks we've been listening to, freaking great. Thanks, Double A. I appreciate it. Okay, so now we're officially breaking into today's donos. Wow, looks like I've got quite a few donos today. Let me see. Let me take a quick peek on how many dog nos I've got here. Yikes. Okay, well, I'm going to continue to fire away. We are now in today's donos. Next up is Judgment Kazi. This is a band called GYARI. More jazz. Hochito-to-to. This is going to be a happy aloha jazzy kind of Friday. Brown chicken, brown cow. And the name of the track is... I don't know what the song title is because it looks like it's in Japanese, but you guys can figure it out when you read it. But this is from Judgment Kazi. And how are you, Judgment Kazi? I hope you got some great plans for the weekend. Let's see. I like your message. Oh, here's a fun one for your Friday, for our Friday. This is a fun Vocaloid track that uses Japanese onomatopoeia as lyrics. Enjoy the ride. I think we're all going to enjoy this ride, Judgment. All right, let's do this. All right. I already love it. I love the bass. The vocal line reminds me of something scat chatting instead of scat, but scat chatting. The addition of that organ, though. Well, they move that on. They move that Hammond around in the mix quite a bit too. Is this actually maybe part of a video game? Ride work on this is beautiful. So it's its own standalone project, huh? As if we couldn't figure it out, they had to let us know. Super chorus time. is coming. Sí, como no. It gives you such a bop, you're right. It's such the full bop. Yeah, somebody make that a GIF. There was just a little separation for me in the cymbal placement with the drums, but love that bass. That was badass. That was absolutely, I loved every bit of that. It was, first of all, just as a bop, it was just so uplifting and stuff. For me, it was really super creative because I'm still, you know, I think I'm only 5 or 6 tracks in my experience here on the internet and listening to music into the Vocaloid concept, you know, using the samples and how they're used or put in and then manipulated, turned into samples, whatever that process is. And how it's a genre unto itself, which I think is really great. I think it might be bringing back the world of scatting, which is, you know, rhythmical performances, non-lyrical, you know, you know, that's the kind of crap that goes on in my head all the time. So listening to something like this was so fun, you know. And then, of course, at some point, too, I had to sit there and sink into it and go, oh, wait a second. I'm starting to hear other things in the music that I'm really enjoying, which was, like, for instance, the Hammond, the uniqueness of having the Hammond in that, the organ and stuff. And there was a couple times it was pretty hot. They pulled it back, so they played around with the little mixing a little bit. The drum work was phenomenal, but I was a little sus of the cymbals for a second because I'm listening to the drum work, and then there were cymbals that were coming in on you know, the obvious one and stuff like that to emphasize turnaround. They were a little hot. That's just me being technical nerdy about it. And that I was like, could have been a little overdub later. And my brain goes on in that fact, but that was great. That was a great listen, man. I loved every bit of it. You guys like it? Did you guys like it? I don't know. I don't see anybody. You guys like it? Did you like it? Did you like it? Did you like it? Hey, it's me, Luigi. How you doing, buddy? Okay, next up. Ren Fox wants a band called, just talking about this band. And I have done much from their catalog back in the day on my Decomposer Lounge. And of course, it was always from Kazi. Kazi brings, it's like you and Kazi. What do you guys call each other before the streams? Going, let's blow Jeeves' mind. Let's, and you notice how I do this? That goes to show you how fucking old I am from the 1900s. Hey, how are you? Anyhow, as a matter of fact, just side note, I heard a story that the shaka emoji was originally supposed to be call me. I don't know if that's true or not. Because the shaka is so revered worldwide, you know, as a symbol of joy and celebration and you know, so anyhow, I digress. We're doing Nightwish. That's what we're doing. Nightwish is the call here. So let me go and grab that. And, oh shit, I hate that. And the name of the track is Army of Electrons. So let's do this. This is from, wait, did I do this right? Let me make sure. Hang on. No, I'm sorry. My bad. I made a mistake. I got it. I fixed it. It's named Perfume of the Timeless. That was Vex's track. Don't worry, Vex. I see you there. But I'm not ready for you. I hit your button by accident. So this is, once again, this is from Ren Fox. This is Nightwish and Perfume of the Timeline. We got a brand new song by, oh, it's brand new. Oh, okay, great. I look forward to this. So would this be, before we start, Ren, would this be with Floor Jansen? Jensen is the singer's name? I know that there was a big change. I think the bass player left about a year or two ago, so if this is new, I look forward to it. See what this sounds like. Let's go. It already sounds super progressive. Love the shot underwater too. It's my life story. Bruh, that fish really does exist though, you know that, right? Ooh, trippy. Okay, now I'm feeling the Nightwish. The little sneaky Marcato string patterns that come in and out, very Nightwish. Like that, da 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 da. Super bold, glorious, powerful. This is so traditional Nightwish composition. I'm sure their fans are going to love this. And the video is fantastic. I like the sizzle on that bass tone. nice brass stabs in there. I love that. And the swells. There's a regal arrangement in the horns I really love. I don't know if they'll do it again. I love that. Kind of a dissonant piano little pattern there. Love that ride work. Great callback to in the video with the humpbacks. That's a trip. That's done really well, that video.
With the perfume of the timeless, last sighs on a deathbed. Of a million loves. With the perfume of the timeless last sighs of a million loves.
Okay, now that was insanely great. The finishing off with the track with the whale call. I think obviously Nightwish is extremely well known for their storytelling. Everything is about a historical, something talking, connecting culture to history. Very, very. They marinate they're absolutely wonderful storytellers. What's the name of that genre again? Not classical metal. They have a genre that symphonic metal. Is it metal something of that nature? They're just absolutely magical at that. And I've heard enough of them throughout my journey on the Decomposer Lounge to hear it transitioning through like their very first releases to when there was one singer and then there was Floor Jansen. And, you know, just enough to kind of, but you know, I hopscotch, so I'm sure I missed albums and stuff in between it. But they've always been wonderful storytellers. And that's what this was. Now, I will say something about the music. It was very well written. It was very Nightwish. This production, though, seemed a little more produced. I think that's a safe way I want to say this. They really leaned on a lot of pads and ambient work and sequences and, you know, modeling harps and stuff like that. I can't say that I know, or even, you know, the clarity of the mix was phenomenal. So maybe I'm misled because of the incredible engineering and how everything is tone sculpted, each like track, you know. But it just was so cleanly produced that for me, kind of recalling a little bit of their trajectory, there was a little, how do I say this? I'm trying to be safe about this. Maybe there was more emphasis on the producing of the track than there was presenting a band vibe with it. I don't know. I don't know how this track was arranged and stuff. But that being said, the music, the lyrics were great. The video was fantastic. And I think this is a perfect time for a track like this. And Nightwish definitely nailed it into the bay for sure. And so anyhow, yeah, that was cranking. Symphonic metal. Thank you, Renron. And I appreciate it. Thank you for bringing that into the stream. You know, I thought it was super badass, like I do. Uh-oh, this next track, guys. Are we ready for this? I have done work from this band on the Decomposer Lounge, and they've got such an incredibly, intensely powerful, unique sound. This one is from Oranai. The name of the band, you guys may have heard this band, especially if you're a metal rock fan. Falling in Reverse. You guys ever heard of that band? Well, I know here on the stream, though, we have so many eclectic music. We had a bunch of jazz and fusion and all kinds of stuff. So, you know, more and more folks are coming from the other channels here. So now we're getting more of an eclectic, expanded, you know, listening experience. But Oranai is bringing us some of the heat here. So this is called Watch. We're going from this video to one called Watch the World Burn. So let's do this, guys. This is Falling in Reverse. Oh, I like your message. Boosty, boosty. All right, Oranai, let's do this. All right.
Yeah, I got voices in my head again. Tread carefully, and I don't medicate, it helps me temporarily. I got problems, I got issues, yeah, apparently. Trauma that I'm burying, I think I need some therapy. I battled depression, I'm back with a message. I'm asking the question that if you hate me, why you acting obsessive? I'm past the point of no return, fuck being passive aggressive. I'll brandish a weapon, teach all you motherfuckers a lesson. Yeah. I actually battle my demons and shadows, and women the deep and the creep in the shallows and lost. Gotta admit that I'm living the life that I've always wanted, but it comes to the cost. Yeah. They're licking the jar for fixing to rip me apart.
That pattern kind of reminds me a little of Coolio.
Think you can stop me, not even a little bit. Nowadays, everybody's so sensitive. Picking my words when you pick it apart. Tripping on nothing, just get in the car. Ripping and sticking the mark. I'm tipping the
A little Eminem in there.
Enemies trying to get rid of me. Evil tendencies are fucking with me mentally. I got people that don't like me in the industry.
I like vocal effects in the background of this.
Cause I have been to places that you never want to go. Yeah, I got dirt on people, but they act like I don't know. Yeah, I can do some damage, but I'll never rock the boat. All it takes is one post with some fun like dominoes. You'll never get rid of me. Too many enemies whipping my imagery. You know my history. It ain't a mystery. Put every enemy out of their misery. Somebody send me some positive energy. About to go dark. I'm about to go dizzy. Into the darkness, into infinity. Shut you motherfuckers up. Listening? Stacking every little pretty penny that I'm getting, and I'm never giving in to anybody. Always winning, never kidding. When I time, taking everybody with me. You're never gonna get me. Cause you never see it simple. Yeah, my motherfucking God. You're a light gone. I'm a time bomb. The vibe's wrong. It's my fault. I'm two syllables of the letter of fillable. I'm a lyrical, typical super villain. I'm venomous, and I'm never gonna stop until they put me on top of the list.
Jeez.
I can't control the monster any longer that's inside. The pain and sorrow left us solo. Now tomorrow's hard to swallow. Death is calling, so I'm crawling. Tightrope walking, now I'm falling down. Like missiles falling from the sky. Come and save us.
The big coral pads in the back. Nice little glitch there. Well, that was a happy track. What I will say about, I'm going to get a nice picture of his band. There we go. What I will say about his sense of production is absolutely phenomenal. He's definitely negative energy driven, like struggling for positivity. But, you know, I guess I've listened to interviews on him and stuff like that. And it's just such a hard place to be in the world. He's in the apex of the social media grind and the kind of things that you must have to put up to, you know, and then of course he himself, you know, obviously kicks out controversy. But musically, what I love about what he does is this hybrid, his skill set with hybrid production is unmatched. Freaking unmatched. From using the trap hip hop vibes and then growing the track both vocally and speed and the cadence of his performance into more bolder, darker, heavier, and then finally finishing off with the real people's elbow, which is that super dark, genty, powerful guitar work that just emphasizes the story he's telling. I only caught a few of the words through and through. You know, even his videos are so detail oriented, but the messaging is really heavy. The guy's got a hell of a life, and he's expressing it in an incredible way. I think one thing that I was really enjoying was the change of his cadence in his performance. You know, the rhythmical part of his performance and everything. And I also like the fact that they still I like the fact that the world of classical music still has an impact. This is such a unique thing. There's a genre that is just classical music. And yet the power of that, how that has a through line to this very second, to just listening to this piece of music that has choral arrangement and it has some string stuff, and there's a little bit of a, you know, every now and then there's a little flex on some kind of a marcato style phrasing or spiccato style phrasing, not an ostinato, but some turnaround stuff. The fact that the orchestral world is still making a presence, even something as gnarly as this, I think is a great testament to, you know, some of our old school guys. You know, I'm wondering if maybe like Mozart would have written something like this had he had the, you know, where he would have gone in the sense of expressing some of his darker sides, you know, because he was that kind of creative. But anyhow, Oranai, that was super badass, and thank you for bringing that into my ears. Already this session's been super eclectic, man. Let me see what else we got here. Okay, Baha Schmenzer. We have another metal track, guys. This one is from the band Insomnium. Now, wait a minute. Insomnium, though, I think they're more, if I remember, are they more prog ambient metal, something like that? Let's see which track we're doing. And we are doing Regain the Fire. So let's do that. How are you, Baha Schmenza? I hope you're doing well. Here comes your track. Clash of the Titans opening. I don't think I have. Maybe we should get that on the Wheel of Cheese. Okay, here we go. Melodic death metal. Okay. Yeah, I was off. Is the nickname for the genre also mellow death? I've heard that used sometimes. I really like this track. Love all that melodic playing in the back with the guitars. And I don't know if that's a signature thing with melodic death music. Melodic arrangements in the background, even though they're harmonized, are so important to that. I think this is one of my favorite genres. It's like a guilty pleasure. See, I love this stuff here. So that whole melody, you've got the guitar doing the melody, you've got vocals singing that melody, and you've got that dark, organic, ripped vocals doing it. That's what I love about this sound. That's what I love about this sound. What I had mentioned earlier, which was, I guess Amma said it really well. I guess a melodic death is a good gateway genre. I guess to other death metal, perhaps? Is that what you were saying with that? I think it for me, it feeds a lot of needs when I'm listening to music and I want to just be able to get more into it than dissect it. And everything from the recording of this, there's a lot of connected chord changes and rhythmical arrangements with the guitar. There's not a lot of stop-start chugginess going on. There was a couple little turnarounds that were checked. Speaking of turnarounds, I loved the turnaround between the first hook and the second verse. That little melodic thing there was so cool. And but there's just something that this particular genre, I guess Lisa also says it pretty well. It's the contrast that is appealing to me. You know, you can if I'm listening to a track that's as dark as gnarly as hell can be, and I might be on the fence about going, how am I feeling about this? You just add a little bit of unique melody to it, and that'll gap me into, you know, the next level of listening. I guess I'm just melody arrangement driven as a human, as a composer, as a person, you know. Though rhythmically I can get down with chugs and darkness and the heaviness of all kinds of metals. Sometimes when even if it's just background vocals that might sneak in, and we've talked about this before. I love when bands of this nature, of these genres, have the performer, their lead performer is doing the growling or the rip vocals or whatever, but then behind that there is a discernible melody that's going on, even if it's pulled back in the mix a little bit, depending on how the engineer and the band, you know, imaging and all that wants to manage their mixes. And then speaking of mixes, Amin had brought something up at the very beginning, how this, especially compared to the last track we heard, my ears were tuned in to how that mastering track, or what that track sounded like. And then when this came in, there was quite a boost in the mids and the master on that. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory if you're looking at a grid chart from, you know, 0, which I would call beetle fart, to dog whistle. And a lot of times if you punch this up, which means you're rolling off the top, You know, you're shelving off the top and the bottom, and you might, you know, not necessarily push the mids, but sculpt the mids up a little bit by pulling down the front and the back side of it, and it had a little bit of that to it for sure. I felt that. I was like, I was going to go, oh, Amin said it. Anyhow, that was a great track, Oren. I thank you so much, and I hope you're doing well. I hope you got a great weekend planned for you. All right, next up, Truck for Geit. This is a oh, another one. My goodness, this is going to be quite the metal stream, guys. And I also am a fan of this band coming up. This is August Burns Red. And let's see what we got going on here. August Burns Red. It's called The Cleansing. And so let's do this, Truck. Let me see here. The song makes an interesting shift in the sound. He wants to know if it's a different key, maybe minor to major, around the halfway point. All right, well, we'll listen to this. And let's see what we got. And that's what I love about these little messages. You give me something to think about. So when you guys do put in your, whether it's a Wheel of Cheese or the Dono Boosts, take the time out and tell me a little bit about this track and something maybe you want me to listen for, too. That makes it that much more fun for myself as well. All right, guys, August Burns Red. Let's go. Just open up with the blast beat right from the beginning. Let's go. Even that melody, that. I'm just sweating listening to this. Like it hurt. I love the patterns when they're dive bombing back into the zero. Creative right here, this riff. That I love that little accent. Look at that bass tone, man. Yeah, I'm loving this part right here for sure. I'm sorry, but a little bit of a Hotel California vibe in this lead. Don't come for me on that, but I'm just saying, I felt it. And that's a good thing. That's because it was really melodic. That's what I'm pulling from that. It's almost like adding that vocal pad in the back is just a little further darker and deeper into the pit, in the bowels of this track. It's just a bizarre thing. Something as beautiful as these choral voices does bring on such a, you know, heaviness. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, there's a definite lift in the chord changes. You're right there, Truck. Yeah, they shifted all into the major. As if in this part of the song, it's supposed to be a lighter darkness and the darker darkness. But yeah, definitely right there. The little flam in the fill. I love how they kept the bass dark. I'm conflicted right now because I so love this change. Got the harmony down. Happy growls. Oh, Happy Growls is right. Whoops. Sorry, guys. There's quite a few things I want to mention about this. One of the things is, engineering-wise, you know, those incredible, the tones and that the engineers are how do I say this? They're not manufacturing the tones. Obviously, they're coming from the musicians, the instruments, and all of the let's call it pre-console work. And then, of course, there's things that happens at the end of it. But you know, a lot of the chugging, these dives into zero. And from what I feel, the zero is the open string, the lowest string that they're, you know, that they're rooted in, if you would, on all the, you know, going to that would be their zero. And then they lunge out into these other parts in their riff and their passages. But when I listen to those chugs and stuff, they are so cleanly, I can imagine what the gate is, if they're gating, if they're clipping or whatever, they're so chopped, and so there's an emphasis on just as much silence in between the darkness and those chugs that as an engineer I'm thinking, my God, are they just clipping everything that tight? This has nothing to do with the musicianship. It has nothing to do with it. This has to do with being an engineer and sculpting, you know, a finished product. And sometimes it sounds like what they also do is they, you know, even if they don't over compress the top of it or the guitar signal, it definitely sounds like it's pumped with some kind of a compressor. I mean, a limiter, so that it stays at its trigger point constantly. So there isn't a lot of bounce in the feel of, you know, getting into the chug or getting out of the chug. It just keeps hitting you over the head with just this straight candy bar. That's why I call it a candy bar. And so I was listening to all of that. I'm listening to the vocal performance and everything. But that little section where it all glassed off was so cool. That made it. I think Double A also had mentioned that. He goes, that section kind of made it for me. And also there was really great tapping that was going on the side during that really nice glassy period. It kind of gave us a little bit of a reprieve. And what Truck had asked me in the request here in the messaging and mentioned again here on the stream was there was a change up. There was, if I was to look at this as a story for almost 8 minutes, the first 4 minutes was establishing the darker heaviness of whatever the lyrics were. I had no idea what they were saying. But if the tone and the energy was just as visceral and ball boiling as it can be. And then they did flip the script. They started punching up into some major chords and kind of gave it a lighter, more approachable dark metal, if I said that correctly. So that was a nice twist, you know. And then, of course, when they glassed into that more melodic ambient vibe, that was it. My surrender flag went up, going, I'm in. You know, and it was all aces all the way out from there. So this was a great track, and August Burns Red. You know, like I said, I'm a fan of theirs, but a lot of times I don't hear. You know, when I get suggested tracks, it's usually the top tracks of the band when the people come through, not necessarily tracks that might be middle, you know, or part of a 3-track suite, if you would, something of that nature. But listening to it though, I'm a little sweaty. All right, next up is from Doc Doom. This is a band called Fromjoy. How are you, Doc Doom? How have you been? How was your week? And the name of the track is Seraph. Not giraffe, but Seraph. So, Doc Doom, if you're in the house, this is for you. Here we go. There you are. What a trippy change up in production. I love that drums. That's that jungle, what's it called? Jungle beat. I love that. Even behind that, there was a little icy pad happening. I love that. Great production and flipping up that jungle beat from the first cut. change to now keeping the kit in. Yeah, I'm in on this right here. Listen to the chugs when they happen, and I'll get to the point at the end of the track. A little thin snare too. That patch right there, right? This is what you're talking about. Ooh, they detuned it. Okay, it looks like it steps into something else. So, I wanted to mention really quick. Remember when I called out that chug? I said, listen to the chug, listen to the chug. I just want to A-B it with what I said about the August Burns Red remarks on the guitar there. How these chugs, you can almost hear the trigger saturation of the tubes and the release of that. You know what I'm saying? From signal in to signal out, there is this little bulbing of power that comes in from the chug to the release and stuff like that, that you could have cut off perfectly and it would have given you that more definitive chuggy kind of vibe. But this is, you know, to me, the most prolific example of not making that decision to tweak that. It's not good or bad. I'm not saying that it's a judgment on how the engineering of the August Burns Red thing was. It was just it was a production decision. These sections that broke off into different production, the very first one that had the trap that jungle, I forgot what they call it. There's a specific name. I always mess this up. That whole thing. That caught me off guard. That was great. That was like a super rinse for me to kind of chill out from the heaviness. Then the next time they came back and did that, they gave us the, yes, breakbeat, thank you. Then we go back into that super chill section, but this time they're going to keep the regular drums in there. They removed the breakbeat. And then of course, it had a little more of a cut time feel to it. You know, so these back and forth between these two styles to me is what made the track really super interesting, and actually made it, if even possible, elevated the darkness of it a little more. Because that feeling that I get in my head where you're just rattling every neuron in between the small space between my ears, and I'm like, and then you go. You know what I'm saying? Kind of resets everything like that. Then when it comes back in, it's even slightly a little more punchier. I don't know. It's just an emotional reaction to it. Something like that. Anyhow. Sick track, man. Just Labs. We want a band. Chris Turner. This is metal. How are you, Just Labs? How you been? All right. And the name of this track is Psycho. And then the last track I'm going to do before I take a break and we do Big Wheel of Cheese is Progressive from Ivex. Then after that, we have a pretty big run of a lot of game and anime tracks coming up. So 2 more tracks, this and 1 more before I take a break to set up for a Wheel of Cheese. And then go back into some more donuts. So here we go. This one is called Psycho. So this is going to be kind of like a Girls from Ipanema moment. I'm sure this is going to be a very relaxing track.
I'm not entirely happy with this.
Oh, I love that bass.
And
Messages, they never end. That's a whole
Wow.
lot of messages for just a friend. Oh no, I had the feeling I knew what I find. You met up with Veronica late last night. You had a bit of
Jeez.
on the side.
I think we're in for it, guys. Let's go.
Last week, and I give you the Nina. Had you even meet her? I'll be your cure, are you dumb? Got with Alexandra and her mom. You tell the Netflix girl they drive you mad. Yeah, you're showing me the psychopath. I'm the psychopath. I'm the psychopath. Oh, I'm the psycho.
I so dig this.
No, you got to be kidding. You said how much you respect women. I'm buying your meals, I'm paying your bills. Why you out here switching positions? Hold up with me, but you finish. All in my face, girl, you tripping. There's no one who lost like the process of the box. Good luck with the hole that you're digging. I don't fuck with family on my life. Had to cut off family, at least I tried. All these other girls that I can't see.
Silence, a very integral part of this engineering.
Memory. I just want some memory.
God, I love the guitar noises. Who is this drummer? Frick.
Call me crazy all you like.
Would that be Chris Turner?
Turns out I was fucking right. You had up with Veronica late last night. You had a bit of Elena on the side. Was chatting up Anita all last week. And now you do the Nina. How'd you even meet her? I'll be your cure, are you dumb? Got with Alexandra and her mom. You tell the Nancy girl they drive you mad. Yeah, you're showing me the psychopath. I'm the psychopath. I'm the psychopath. Oh, I'm the psycho. I'm the psychopath. I'm the psycho.
Little blend of the trap in there. Wow. Frick, brah. I mean, seriously. Let me set him up on a good spot on him really quick. Here we go. So just learning about what this is from Just Labs, apparently that Chris Turner is the drummer. And so therefore not seeing any singers and stuff. So this seems to have been a project put together around his compositions and with his, you know, maybe the other musicians that are there in addition. He is of that level of drummers that is so, I guess it's in the math rock, math metal world. The drummer from Polyphia, Tim Henson's band. That drummer, this drummer, there's a couple of other out there that also play in this particular style, is so freaking mind-numbing. And it's, as much as I love just let's go, you know, straight up lock it down kind of, you know, drum work and stuff. Because of my world of super ADHD think pattern, like a squirrel, you know, trippiness. I mean, that's my body functions all day like that. I walk around out there, I must look like I mean, that's what I feel like, but it's a natural thing. The rhythm in myself just as a person, let alone a composer and all that sort of stuff, I listen to this and I can identify with that, and also the complexity of it, you know. And so it's and something else I want to mention really quick before I move on. This also goes to show you what can be achieved with really super creative arrangements as a drummer on a kit as small as his. And the same thing with that jazz drummer we saw earlier in the stream. Relatively pretty small kit, and he absolutely crushed it. you know, and that to me is also a little bit of a testament of really super creative arrangements with what you have and how many different ways dynamically can you utilize snare, 2 toms, floor toms, hat, double kick, 5 cymbals, you know what I mean? Not to say that if you're surrounded like, you know, a Neil Peart style of drumming, you know, or Danny Carey, you know, style of drumming where it's all around you, you have all those incredible options. Still yet, when you have just a small kit and you just are able to do that, I am mind-numbed by it. So Chris Turner, thank you so much for that, Just Labs. That was great. And I'm all next up now, before I take my break, is Ivex. Now we do your song, brother. Okay, so this is a band called Arcadea, and it's progressive music. And then I take me breaky. I break me brookie. This song is called Army of Electronics. Let's do this. Let's see. Arcadea was born when drummer vocalist Drandeller. Oh, from Macedon. Okay. With guitarist Cora from Zruda and another musician from Withered. And so this is kind of a synth-laden, progressive, heavy psych band. Brah. That sounds like a really nice prescription for us to get whiplash. Let's go. A little bit of a rhythm lag in the sequencing there. I was like, whoa, 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 catch it, let's go. Ivex, when did this release? What year? Boy, they're really emphasizing the synth aspect of this, and I love it. Old school style synths too. I like that the sequencing is slightly lags. Ivan, you're right. There is a little bit of that Gojira vibe in there. I think that has to do with the vocals. And I love how the delay on the vocals are right down the middle. It's not stereo imaged. I love how they're playing around with these synth vibes, man. Drummer's crushing it too. love this part, man. This is badass. Is that it? Damn, I started getting into it, man. I was... whoops, what happened? Oh, they snuck in a little something there. I think it may be leading into another track, so I'm going to stop it. I love the fact that they really leaned in a lot on keeping those synths just front and center and in your face, that they weren't these, like, you know, abstract parts of the arrangement, but they really bit into it. What I don't know, and maybe you can help me on this, is Ivex, is this a unique song off that album project, or is most of the songs on this album have the same kind of textures? You know, I love that. I love the infusion of those older sounding analog, probably reprocessed through digital kind of vibes. Who knows how many years ago this was put up and stuff. But the decision to keep that, you know, the synth work more up front in your head, especially when the sequences sounded like they lagged a little bit, you know, against the drumming or something like that. Or they could have been perfect timing. In other words, the strike point, the velocity point on the MIDI signal could be perfect on the one, but there could be a slower attack. It sounds like there's just a super slightly adjusted attack on the synths that cause it to not necessarily trigger on the, you know, like maybe a 10 millisecond, you know, a delay on the attack or something. But this was super trippy, and I dug it. Vex. And yes, there was dissonance as well. There was some very odd little dissonance weirdness that was happening with that.